Hello guys, welcome back to the software testing tips and tricks channel. If you are new to this channel, check out these videos and subscribe this channel and also share it to your QA friends. So today we will discuss about API testing. So what is API testing? How we should do API testing? What all testing we should cover as part of API testing? How we can start it in your organization and what tools are available to test the APIs. So before starting ahead, let me tell you one story. So when I joined as a QA in one of the big MNC, and I was actually intern, and I was asked to test the APIs they have newly developed. So I was not sure like what is API and how to test it. Means we have studied in our engineering like what is API, SOAP and REST and everything. But what actually we need to test and how I can access those APIs. Nothing I has like documentation also I couldn't understand properly. So I went to other guy who used to test those API and he told like he will give me the documentation, but he went out from the next day onwards. So I need to go to developers and my struggle started. Then I found like okay, this API has these things I need to test, and to access those API we need special token that we will discuss. So these things was the starting like starting breaker, like you should know like how to start that. After once you have set up and everything is working, it went smoothly. So first let's start like what is API. So API is application program interface, is a set of all processes and functions that allow us to create an application by accessing the data or feature of other program. Testing of such procedure is known as API. This is book definition. So in short, API is you are using some other party or other functions in your program. So for example, let's start with example only. So for example, login. So when I developed one application, for example, let's say mobile application, and I enter username and password, and when you press submit button, so what happens? So it going to match that if that username is exist or not, that password is matching or not, and after that it will let you sign in, right? So those list of username and password is stored somewhere in server. It won't be in your local mobile, right? So what happens is this mobile sends that username and password to the server and tell server like check, please check this is correct or not. Then server has internal function where we it gets username, gets password, convert it to some other format and match or it compare it like if it is available or not, and sends it true or false or some other return as whatever they have defined. So based on that return, again if my application gets if I get true, so I allow to sign in with welcome message, and if I get false, I say like your username or password is not valid. So this is the API I am using from the server. For example, payment gateway, where most of the application use third party APIs. So what happens like when someone purchases and click on pay button, it redirects to the third party. So the APIs it calls it gives some data like this user is and from my website want to pay me. So this is my details. Please allow him to play. So after that that functionality allows you to allows user to pay, and after payment is complete, it again send back success message or failure message to the my site. So I come to know okay he has paid it successfully or not. So this is how in real life we use the APIs. So let's start with some tools. So mostly for API, the basic testing, I use advanced REST client. We have Postman also, those who knows, and there are other so many tools are available to test this. But if you want to sub basic test API, like if API is working or not, if API getting response or not, so those kind of things you can use this REST client, but it don't expect much features, but it is simple to use. So if you are new to this, it is very simple, like it gives you. So let's start with that only. So I am using this site. It gives me some examples for API. so we can use that. So let me launch the application. So here I have tried before this video. So in history you can directly get that if you have already used this API. If you want to start new, so you can check like, okay, I want to get the list of users. So for example, uh, so this is the URL. So for example, my application where I have some button show users, and when I click on show user, it's give me the list of users. So when I click on show user, I call this API users paid to, and in response I get all the usernames. So I fetch this first name and last name and display on my functionality or application. So to use that, we have learned that. Yeah, here it is. So I can put here, this is my request URL. So those who are new to this, I am explaining very from beginning. So this is my request URL. So if you don't know the request URL, you need to ask the developer what is my request URL to access the API. Then you need to get the method. So there should be one documentation for API which should show what is your request URL, what is the method. So get method means you are just getting, you are not sending anything, you are just getting the response. Those should be you have studied in your engineering or in studies. So what is get, post, and I believe, but I will explain what is required. So this is the thing you should know, what is my request URL, which method it is, and I can press the send. So I get the result 200 OK. 200 OK means it goes success and give me the result. So I am getting all the list of my users. Now the trick is, if you try in your organization, most of the organization, if you request URL and post method and send, it won't work directly. You have to give one access token in header. So there will be some encrypted 16 digit or 16 bit or 32 bit request token that you need to provide. So here it should have some name, like if your application is XYZ, then XYZ token and their value. So once you give that token and value, then only it will allow to access this URL. Now how to get that token? So that token is not fixed, like it is not like password, it is fixed. So there will be one more call to get the token. So to get the token, you perhaps you have to provide your username, password, your company's username, password, or your test username, password will be given to you, and what kind of URLs you want to request. Based on that, you get the token, and that token is valid for 1 day, 1 hour, based on your it being sent. Once you get the token, then it's easy. You just provide like XYZ token, and here 32-bit number, something like this. So this is my token. In every call I am making, I have to provide that token now, but this is a public APIs I am using, so no need for token. So this is the how we get the response. So some more we can try. So there is a post which allows you to create the user. So this is again my request URL. So I am putting my request URL. This was post method. Post method means whenever you select post, that means you have to provide some body. It automatically showing me body here. So if I have put get, there is no body. If I put post, it has body. So in body, something you need to give. So here, if you go to create, it says this is the body. So in your documentation, there should be example what should be body. So in body you are giving this. So it will create one user name Morpheus and job leader. In header you need to give that access token, and now you can send this. So you get this. This is created at this time, and this is the response you are getting 201 created. So this is how it got created. So there are other functionality as well, but this is the thing. So now we come to know the things we need to give: request URL, method you need to select, we need to give the body. In body there are some types of body it actions. Mostly it will be JSON visual editor, so it will be in format of JSON like this: name, orphan, leader, something like this. Some allows raw input, and some has some other format also, form format and others. So that also will be documented most probably. So this is how you can start with API testing. Now what to test in these APIs? So I know, like, I provided some URL get method access token I have given and I got the response, and I check if response is correct or not. So this is the thing we do need to test. So let's go ahead in our present test. Okay. So API testing, I have given the demo. So what we need to do in functional testing, performance testing, and security testing. So in functional testing, first thing comes in mind is to validate the response. Yes, obviously. So first you need your access token. So in access token, first you need to validate, like, if it is accessible only through a proper access token or not. If you change access token, it should not be allowed to allowed you to reach that URL. You can also check, like, it is getting expired or not. So in 1 days, if it is a live period, then it should be get expired in 1 day. Then second part comes is your response. So when you get the response, what you need to test. So in response we are saying what we are getting. So in response mostly we are getting one error code and some response. So in response you need to check if this error code is correct or not. If some data is not found, it should give me 4 is not 4. If this URL is not able to connect, it should give me 500 or 500 this error. So it should be fixed. So if even though it is giving me it gets failed, it is giving me 200 error, 200 error code. That means this is not error code, success code. Yeah. So that means it is something faulty, because if it is working, it should be given proper output. That then only we should be green, and 200 or 201 it should give me. So this is the thing you need to test. And other thing more than that is the body parameter. So in body parameter you need to try different things, like what if in name I put some special character. So should it allow me special characters, and again I can send. So this is creating with special characters, so this is fine. Other things you can check only with numbers and other things, or if you provide job first and then name, what is happening. So this is created like that. So this is what you have to check, like it is working as you're expected or not. So this whole thing you can test as part of functional testing. Now performance and load testing. So this is the most important thing you need to check, because thousands of user you are using your application at same time. So thousands of APIs got hit and get to server. So there are chance of so many things, like server go down if it goes like thousand of APIs in 1 second. There are more like issue of rest condition, and there are other issues can be like response is very late or something like that. So you need to check. So to check the performance or load, there are like Postman and other complex tool give you the script access, where you can put your script. Thousands of users get created and hit at same time to the server, and you get like in what time we get the response. So those kind of performance or load testing you can do with API, and it is very critical and very important. Other thing is security testing. So yes, API should be very secure. So security testing is must, as I told, like this access token thing. It should work only with a valid token, and there is you can try with Fiddler or other tools. That is mean in medal attack. So you are someone could not capture those APIs and change some data and send it back. So what is that? For example, I am sending my payment detail, and some other guy who get that detail and changes to his payment detail, and now he getting whatever I am paying as user is paying. So those kind of things should not happen. It should be very secure, and it should be encrypted. So those kind of things you can check. I am not expert on security testing actually how to do this, but I have studied crypto and other things, so I know this man of the middle attack and those kind of DES and other encryption algorithms. So those kind of things should be placed, and it should be make sure like it is secure and there is nothing vulnerability is possible using some different tools. So this is the things you must need to test in for API. So like for API, how to write test cases, that is also important. Like in UI, when you say if I am providing username and password, it should log in. So we should know, like when I provide correct username, correct password, it should be login. If I provide incorrect username, incorrect password, it should not be login. Incorrect correct username, incorrect password, those combination we can try. So here also, like I want to accept only valid dates for flight booking. If I write this, it is kind of misleading. So I needed what is the valid dates. So for example, I am saying like valid date, that means current date or next date, right? So I am booking my flight, so correct date should be, or valid date should be to date or next upcoming dates, not past date. So I cannot book in past dates. Other thing I need to uh, worry about format of the dates. So mostly applications just drop down, so you get in that format only. But to double check, like when you are doing API testing, that time you don't have UI. So to double check, you need to provide wrong format, and it should give like it's a wrong date format. Other thing is like what should be valid response. So if I provide everything right, like I am provide next yesterday tomorrow's date, and everything is right, then it should give me 200 response with your book flight is booked for this date and something like that. So that you need to define when you're writing your test case. In errors, like in case of it failed because of wrong date, then it should give like it is a wrong date, please book for next dates or future dates. Other errors could be sometimes server got failed, sometimes user hit two times submit button, so it already got booked. Those kind of things also should be taken care of. So you can define in your test case like what should happen that. So this is how you can write your test case for API testing. Now like start API testing in your organization. Like uh, my team is not doing any API automation. Now I want to start. First of all, why should you start? So because like nowadays mostly the companies follows agile model. So in agile what happens is like developers start early, and we are not following like after development is fully complete we start testing like waterfall model. So here what we need to do is shift left testing, means testing should be shifted to little bit early in the stage. So once you get that APIs are done and UI is implementing that part, only you start API testing and validating incorrect output, all the response code is and everything is working fine or not. So after so this is when we start API testing. After that, what we need to do is identify the tool. So based on your requirement, if you want to perform everything manually, you can go with simple tools. If it is complex, like you have thousands of APIs, you need to automate, gives like Postman or other complex tool. Next is identify resources. So for this exercise, you don't need, I think, expert resources. You can train whatever available resources you have. Mostly manual QA can learn this and start using one of the tool, and they can grow. So I think if you are planning for some scripting or automation for performance and everything, you can have one. But mostly for manual API testing, you can have manual QAs and you can start with that. So get started. Yes. So conclusion. So till now in this video we have learned like how you can start early testing for APIs, full spectrum like functional testing, performance and load balancing testing, and security testing. Some of the tools I have demonstrated that Chrome's REST client tool. Other tools are Postman and other tools that I will create the video in future. And was how to start that. So you can start with whatever resources you have, and you can plan with your sprints when development starts, when APIs are available. Even though with the functionality testing you can do API testing, you can check network logs that I have created one video how to use Chrome dev tools with your testing. So you can monitor network tools, and in network tools you can check like if you all API giving proper response or not, all are getting 200, or if you are getting 403 or 502 errors, then you can check that. That video you can get, I am providing the link. So that's it from this video. Thank you for listening and watching this video. If you like that video, please like and put your comments. Please subscribe this channel and share it to your QA friends. Also, don't miss to follow me on social media. We will have funny social software testing memes and other stuff. Thank you.